that leads me to the proposition that we made with Rachel recently, Europeanizing NATO. So what does this mean? I think we have right now three options for Europe. You can choose to be an ostrich, option one. You choose to be a beaver, or you can choose to be a hyena. Ostriches are usually people who tell you that Trump is an exception, that the feeling of rule of law and democracy is going to bond Europe and America forever, and that we should not do anything that will annoy American leaders. This is option one. Option two is those like me who believe that something is going on in America, which goes beyond Donald Trump, and that we should try to build something new to avoid a complete divorce, and so to ensure maximum deterrence for Europe in the long term. And you can be also option three. You can be you can wish to go back to the 19th century, basically, where national interests prevailed over coalitions, even a European coalition. And you can believe that we should go back to old bilateral alliances, and some countries would then side with the US, other countries would side with Russia, for example. Everyone for himself. These are the three options we have on the table right now. And I will, of course, try to develop option two with you today, very quickly, in just 2 slides. So I don't have a lot of slides. It's almost over. So as a beaver, for the next 20 years, what would it mean to be a European military? First of all, it means asking the US for a bipartisan deal on the evolution of NATO, with Republicans and Democrats trying to sit at the table and say, okay, how do you value Europe? What is the value that you put on Europe over the medium term? And what is how many troops can we expect also from you to be stabilized on the European continent? I believe this is something that can really be done, where you may find a consensus in Washington D.C. And we need that clarity in Europe, because we don't have that clarity. We cannot plan right now ahead our deterrence and our responses to threats, because everything we do in Europe is based on the assumption that America is going to intervene forcefully, which we know is not really true anymore. And so this is a very dangerous moment for Europe, because we are basing our military responses on something which is incorrect. That can change if Americans bring more political clarity on their relationship with us. That would also mean, once we have that clarity, and even before that Europeans need to spend more than 2% of their GDP on defense, probably at least 3% of GDP. Some European countries are already doing that. And of course, this is going to determine the future of NATO, because I believe that NATO will stay, and America will still be a part of NATO. But NATO is going to be just more European, with more European commands. And the countries which spend more on defense obviously will have more responsibility in these European NATO commands. A consequence of this is Secure. Secure probably is going to become European at some point. Right now it is an American 4-star. But if America continues to withdraw as much as it is withdrawing now, and if Europeans finally raise their military budgets, well, I think at some point it would be fair and reasonable to say, well, now Secure should be European, and even D-Secure should be European, and Americans would have a backseat chief of staff kind of role. And that would be the case for all NATO commands. For example, Naples. We can imagine Naples, which right now commands the Mediterranean, and which right now is an American 4-star. Naples could become a rotating command between European countries. For example, for the composition, you may see a group of 4 or 5 countries: France, Italy, Spain, Greece, Turkey. And then as DCOM, countries who do not have the same weight, but who have who invest a lot in the Mediterranean: Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, Portugal, for example, Malta, Cyprus, could be maybe interested in these positions. Americans would be COS or J3, for example. So all this is to keep Americans engaged at the level where they want to be engaged, with logistics and with intelligence, because obviously we need them in these 2 dimensions where they are very strong. And we also need to make sure that Article 5 remains active and remains credible. So as you can see, this is a complete mental shift, which I believe has already started de facto, but that no one is actually talking about because of fears, because of habits, because of biases. And I think this is dangerous, not to face reality, especially in military affairs.